The following program may contain coarse language, violence, nudity, mature subject matter, or scenes which may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back, everyone. This is the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell, coming to you from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. Coming up in our final hour tonight, John Miller will be joining us, and that is from 1 o'clock Eastern until 2 o'clock Eastern a.m., or if you're listening to us on the East Coast, or I should say on the West Coast, that is from 10 p.m. until 11 p.m. tonight. That's in the final hour of tonight's show, John Miller. This hour we have Mary Lawton, and let me see if we can bring Mary on. Hey, Mary, are you with us?
I am. Hey,
but we don't.
Rob, how you doing?
Fine. We don't see you though. Where are you?
Oh my God! I had no idea I was going to be on camera. I'm in my jammies.
Oh, geez, kind of cool. What kind of psychic are you, if you didn't know?
That's a good one. I'm serious. I didn't know I was going to be on camera. Last year,
We're having a lot of problems with your audio, Mary. You're breaking up.
I'm in New Hampshire. I'm sorry. I'm up north.
Ah.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, now I can.
Great.
So what have you been up to since you and I last chatted here in the X Zone?
Well, I got asked to help find a missing person in England that went missing in November, and I found him.
Well, that's super.
Yeah, he was dead. You know, I deal with spirits and you know, the paranormal and everything. But a family friend of his asked that I get involved, and I said sure, I would be glad to try and help. You know. And so I made contact with the mother, and Rob, I got to tell you, as soon as I made contact with her. I made contact with her first thing in the morning. And this was in January. Now, the kid went missing in November, okay, last year. And I was leaving to go to work, and I'm driving down the road in a small town in Florida, and I look up, and there's her son standing on the street corner. And I thought, good God, he moved to Florida and he didn't tell anybody, you know, and here this guy is in England. And then I realized he was hanging from the street sign, which was a good 15 feet up in the air. And that's when, you know, I'm like, the kid's dead. And when I say the kid, he was 27, 26 years of age when he went missing. And he was standing there in broad daylight in front of me, and our eyes locked, and I knew that Alex was dead. So I got back in touch with Mom. It was really hard for me to tell her that I saw him and that he had passed. And then she had held out so much hope. I circled on a map where his body was, and I pinpointed it, and I said, this is where you will find him, because he showed me where he was. He even showed me who did it, who murdered him, and I told the police that. And I'd never seen pictures of the murderers, and then after I told them the descriptions of the murderers, then I was sent pictures, and it's like the spitting image of what Alex had shown me. But the police, you know, it's just like police everywhere. You know, they go on scientific and, you know, that kind of evidence, when a medium enters the picture, a lot of them have a hard time grasping what she's saying or seeing, or the concept of someone that can speak with people who have passed. And so they had stopped looking. But a person walking their dog found Alex exactly where I said he would be. And so it just went viral. It was in papers all over the world that I had found his body.
You sent us some photos that we had trouble, getting ready for our show tonight. One of them was of I believe it has something to do with somebody in Israel.
Yes. After I solved the case in England, this man in Israel tracked me down, and wanted my help in finding this young boy who went missing in Israel. And so I'm still working on that. I do know where he is, and I've told this person, and the police cooperated, and we're out searching for him. But I believe that where he's in several places, let's just put it that way. And it was a heinous crime committed by someone who does not like Jewish people or their faith, their religion. And it's very, very sad. That was a young boy, 16 years of age, and they have not found his body yet. The older man that's missing, and I sent you a picture of all of them who showed up in my backyard. There was and I think you have it there in the studios. It's a picture of the young Moshe, the older Moshe, and then I think it was a rabbi that was murdered. And anyway, 3 people that were missing in Israel. And so the police posted a poster of the older Moshe, Moses, in other words. He went missing 3 years ago, and I took a picture of my backyard. There he is. He showed up the same time I was working on the younger Moshe or younger Moses case. And I know what happened to both of them. I know nothing about the older man with the white beard that also appears in the photo that you have. I have no idea, other than he was a rabbi.
How did you know that you had a gift?
I didn't really know what it was. I was 5 years of age, Rob, and I would have to sleep with the light on and surround myself with stuffed toys when I was 5. When I was a little kid, I was basically building a fort around myself so that the strange people that were walking into my room couldn't see me and I couldn't see them. And so I remember as early as 5 years of age being able to see the dead people, not knowing they were dead. I just knew there were a bunch of people walking around in my room. And right before I came online with you tonight, I took a video of my cat, and there's a man in the room talking. I'm like, just get out, okay? Just get out. I'm about ready to do a radio show, and I have no idea who he is.
Do these spirits just drop in all the time on you?
Yeah, pretty much.
So do you ever get any peace or quietness in your life?
Not really, no.
No,
not really.
How has your gift impacted your life?
It's everywhere I go, they're there, including my job at work. When I'm at work, I'm surrounded by them. In paintings, like for instance, I walk down the hallway where I am at work, and the paintings just scream at me. In other words, there are voices coming from the paintings, and I actually took photos of them before my employer changed houses in Palm Beach. And when I took photos of the paintings, the spirits were talking in the paintings, loud and clear. And I mean, it's like they're animated, and you can hear it. You can hear it in my live photos.
So how do you, when you take pictures, of these paintings or of these photos that are communicating with you, do you actually see a difference in the photos of the photograph, or is it?
Yeah, you do. In some of the photos, you'll see light flashing in the back, and I don't use the flash on my iPhone. The only device I use is my iPhone. For photos and videos, you'll see a light flash when the spirit talks,
Mm-hmm.
or I've actually had photos change on me. When you're looking at it, you will. I mean, literally, the object in the photo moves, and it's actually very, very scary and creepy if you were to look at it with me. I had this happen in one photo I took of a man who was leaning up against a tree holding a baby. Obviously, they're dead. And his face turns and looks at me, and it turns into a woman. But as far as making inanimate objects talk is all the time. I go into a museum. It's incredible the amount of spirit activity found in each piece, hanging on the wall or in a bronze sculpture, Usually you'll find the artist, like for instance in the Ringling Museum in Sarasota,
Mm-hmm.
there's a bronze sculpture done by a Frenchman, and so a photo of it, and here he is telling me his name. And if you look at the name on the picture, it's the same name as the guy saying his name, the French artist who did it.
Hey, Mary, we've got to take a break. Please stand by. Exonation. Mary Lawton is our guest, and her website is othersidepsychic.com, and we'll return on the other side of this break with Mary Lawton. Don't go away. And welcome back, everyone. Mary Lawton is my guest this hour. Coming up in hour number 4, John Miller is going to be joining us talking about Christian ufology. Mary, why do you think you were chosen, and why do you think you have these gifts?
I look at a lot of other mediums who are in their profession, and
Mm-hmm.
I have to say it's the motives. You can't do. I think it has to do with a pure heart, and not wanting anything other from it than just to see a spirit on the other side happy and the family happy. So, I mean, was I chosen? I can't answer that. I can say I don't see anybody else in the world with my gift. And, sometimes I question why me. Of course I do. Because it's so different from anybody else's.
How is it different? How is it different?
I don't know many other mediums that can photograph spirit constantly all day long. I don't know many mediums who can look at a photograph
Mm-hmm.
and draw a tiny dot on the map and say, this is exactly where his body is, and then they find it. I really don't know many other mediums or psychics who can predict things accurate. Now, I'm not saying I'm accurate all the time, but, and if I'm wrong, I will admit it. But anybody else, Rob. I'd like to, for sure.
I've got to tell you that you're dropping in and out. We're catching bits of your conversation.
Oh, okay. Hang on for a second.
Sure.
Hang on,
Mary Lawton's our guest, Exo Nation. Her website is othersidepsychic.com. Are you still there? Are you still there? Testing. Okay.
It's the internet.
I see.
It's the internet.
Gotcha. Now, what was it like when you first discovered that you had this gift?
I was absolutely shocked. I kept it hidden. I didn't want anybody to know. Because I would probably be locked up in the loony bin, and then also where I came from, the deep South, they probably would have thrown me in the loony bin saying I was a devil child or something. That's a big Bible Belt down there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Serious.
So how did this gift affect you as a child growing up, as well as in your school years?
I was very clingy to my identical twin sister. We shadowed each other. We were never without each other. She had the gift too. And I think it was very strange for our parents my mom and dad sent me to a shrink trying to figure out what was wrong with Beth. Well, Beth had a gift. My middle name is Beth. And Amy had the gift too, and I hid it for most of my adult life until I finally couldn't hide it anymore. This is what I was born as. This is what I was meant to do with my life. And so I hid it. Do
you think that by hiding it worked to your advantage, or did it actually work against you as a child?
I think it probably worked against me, because I kept ignoring it and not paying attention to it. So later on in life, I didn't have anybody teach me. They've got all these schools now. Oh, go learn, be a medium, learn to, whatever, astro project or whatever have you. I'm sorry. If you weren't born with the gift, you will never acquire it. I do not believe that everybody has the gift, but it affected me to where, that I felt I had to hide it based on where I grew up, my surroundings, and nobody would understand it. Nobody.
What was it like the first time that you actually communicated with somebody who was dead end on the other side?
It was scary. I didn't know if I should be, I didn't know if I should be afraid, if I should stop what I was doing or continue. And actually, I've been through just about every fearful thing you could ever imagine in life. And so I'm not afraid. I really am not. I ask some very deep questions, like on my YouTube channel, which, I'm not a very techie person, Rob, so I couldn't remember my YouTube channel to put on your show. But on some of the questions I ask, they are like delving deep, like who killed JFK, who killed Princess Di, and Spirit answers. And so, But
how do you prove that Spirit is giving you the right answer?
Because when I asked who killed Marilyn Monroe, I asked it 3 times, 3 different spirits. Well, one spirit answered twice, and a third spirit answered, and it was all the same answer. And I have to believe. I trust spirit more than I trust humans, Rob.
All right, now this is where I have a little bit of an issue, because here you're saying spirit tells you three times, three different spirits give you an answer to your question. How do you validate it? Like, it's nice to believe the spirits are giving you the right answer, but how do you validate it? How do you actually find out whether they're right or they're wrong?
Well, my mother and I did some research on the JFK killing,
Yeah.
and it turns out that what Spirit said, of course, it was a mob hit. It was the Chicago mob with the New Orleans mob in collaboration that killed JFK. And so, you put the pieces together. And so, yeah, the answer was correct.
No, wait a minute. How do you know it's correct? That has never been established.
Marciano and I forgot the guy's name in Chicago. It's
Right.
it's on my YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
I understand that, but that has never been proven.
Well, they gave the answers.
The spirits gave you the answer.
Yeah, I recorded it.
Yeah, do you actually hear the spirits giving you the answers?
I ask the name. I say the name, and I hear yes.
You hear yes, but on the recordings, do you hear the spirits say yes?
Yes, you do. It's on my iPhone. I recorded it live on my iPhone.
So you talk to spirits on your iPhone?
Yeah, I mean, I don't use a voice box or anything. I use my iPhone, the video, and I ask the questions, and they answer it right then and there.
All right, so you're on your iPhone. You ask the questions, you hear the answers, you record the answers, and people can actually hear the answers from the spirits giving you the answers.
Yes.
Okay.
In other words, you're on your phone, Rob. You turn on the video function, right? You're just going to video something. You ask a question, the answer, you can hear it, plain as day.
Has spirit ever been wrong?
No.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. I am
So who
100% positive.
is that? Because you believe in spirit, or that you actually do fact checking on what the spirit tells you?
Well, one of them I couldn't fact check on, and that was who killed Princess Di. So I asked the question, did Camilla, Prince Charles, and Prince Philip have anything to do with Princess Diana's death? And
they said?
Yes.
So there's a royal conspiracy that wiped out Princess Diana.
That's what they said was yes.
Doesn't this seem a little bit sensational,
All I can say is it's on my videos. I didn't make up the answer. I mean, Spirit could have said no.
We've got to take a break. Don't go away. This is the X Zone. I'm Rob McConnell. We'll be back on the other side as we continue this conversation with our guest, Mary Beth LAWTON. And her website is Other Side Psychic. Don't go away. Mary LAWTON is our special guest, X Zone Nation, Mary Beth LAWTON. And her website is, sorry about that, her website is OtherSidePsychic.com. So I find this amazing that all you do is you pick up your cell phone, you put it on record, and you ask a question, and you hear the other side giving you the answer.
Yeah, that's how I do it. That's how I've been doing it for years.
Can you do it for us now?
I probably could. Yeah.
Well, let's give it a try.
All right, hang on. Let's see if there's anybody here. Okay, hang on. Let's see, where's my cam? I am not a techie person either, Rob.
It's all right. I've got a little bit of time.
Okay, hang on. Hang on. Spirit, I know you said earlier in the room, I want Beth. Are you still here? Yes or no?
Spirit. Spirit. I know you said earlier in the room, I want BETH. Are you still here? Yes or no?
We'll do that again, Rob. Hang on.
Spirit. I know you said earlier in the room, I want BETH. Are you still here? Yes or no?
I didn't hear him, but that's how I do it, just like that.
Okay. So normally you ask a question,
Yeah.
ask for a yes or no, stop the recording, play it back, and it's only at that time the spirit is able to be heard?
Sometimes they're loud and you can hear them answer, and sometimes they're not, and that's the only way you can hear them.
So why do you think the spirit didn't answer you when you asked him the question when we're here live on air?
Because I asked him to leave right before. I took a video of my cat, and he goes, I want BETH. And that was minutes before I came on the show. And that really kind of unnerved me a little bit. I didn't understand what it meant. Like,
Go on, I'm sorry.
no, as a matter of fact, I was trying to find it to play it.
Spirit.
It's on the iPad that I'm talking to you on.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. Maybe just maybe there's no spirits up there, and it just didn't work this time.
Oh no, there's plenty of them. Trust me. Plenty of them, Rob.
So, what was the most amazing, or the most, yeah, let's use the word amazing, the most amazing thing that you have done using your gift? Has there ever been an aha moment that just blew you away?
Well, I think it was when they found Alex Holland's body in England, in Kent, England. I mean, that was because when I told Rachel that her son was dead, no mother wants to hear that. And so she stopped talking to me, and a month went by. And that's when she contacted me and said, you were right. They found him exactly where you said he was. And I broke down and started crying, because here a mother can bring her child home. And it lends credence to a gift. And I was just grateful that they had found his body. And I really gave the police a hard time over there because they stopped searching. And had they listened to me 2 months earlier, the area I said to search, probably preserving forensic evidence. They didn't. And so, but I was grateful that they did find him.
Now, when you're speaking to the other side, let's say I would imagine that you do phone mediumship as well.
I try not to. I try not to get on the phone. Okay, to give readings. Because spirit will interfere, like there'll be a lot of interference, the call will hang up or something will happen. I typically do readings only by text. Sight
by
unseen.
text.
Yeah, sight unseen. I type what I'm seeing, and then the person will type back. I know nothing about the person. I don't want to know about the person. I don't have to be in their presence to see them, to see their ancestors, to see what's going on in their life. And that's a form, I guess you could call it remote viewing. That's how I give readings.
So you text each other.
Yeah. I don't like being on the phone for a reading. I don't.
So what happens if you're texting back and forth with a client?
Right.
And has it ever come that the spirit doesn't want to give you any information or even talk to the other person?
It has, yeah. It's happened before. It was a funny situation. I usually get a lot of that when I'm dealing with a skeptic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when I'm dealing with a skeptic, it's like I can see the people that have passed, but the skeptic, it's so hard. It's like this giant wall. But I did have one spirit that didn't want to talk to his wife. He was hiding behind a wall on the other side, like literally like a partition. And he would poke his head around every so often saying, I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to talk to her. I had enough of her when I was married to her, and I certainly don't want to talk to her now. And she kept screaming at me, I want my husband. I want him right now. You get my husband now. And I'm like, lady, he didn't want to talk to you. I think he had enough of your bullshit when he was living and married to you. Plus, she had another guy in the bed with her.
Well, that's okay. She was free. She was single.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat, right?
Yeah, right.
I've got to ask you. I've never talked to anybody who does readings just using text. It's usually Skype, or a Zoom call, or some other way that they get the communication. How are you able to do a connection then if you don't hear the person's voice or there's no contact?
Rob, I don't have to. I'm what is known as a remote viewer. In other words, spirit shows me signs, symbols, images, short little clips of movies that like happened in their life. And then I relay everything that I'm seeing to the person that I'm talking to.
Okay.
Yeah. So
how long does a session take?
Sometimes it can take anywhere from 20 minutes to hours and hours. And when it takes hours, it's more than one spirit that's come through. It could be as many as 11 family members.
And this is all done by texting. And do you charge by the hour or by the reading?
I personally don't accept any payment whatsoever.
Oh.
I don't. After this whole story that went viral with finding Alex Holland's body, I had to hire, actually she's a friend of mine, Brooke, but she has been setting up all the bookings for me, and usually the only time I can do it is on weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now I'm more than a year and a half booked out for reading. Wow. But all of it goes for charities, either animal charities, a medical charity that Brooke is very near and dear to Brooke's heart, or feeding women and children in Africa.
Okay, so as I understand it, you do not take any money personally, but there is money. There is an exchange of money for your service.
There is, and it's all handled by Brooke,
mm-hmm.
and she's the one that decides on the donations. Like a lady I just gave a reading to, she wanted to donate, and I said, well, you contact Brooke, you can set up payment with her and she'll donate it to OMSI or she'll donate it to this medical charity or whatever. I do not have any money coming into my hands whatsoever. I personally don't believe in accepting money for my gift. I don't.
So why do you take money from people then?
It all goes to charity.
But if you don't believe in accepting money, there's actually a transaction, whether it comes to you physically or it goes to
Right.
your business,
Right.
and the business then distributes it.
And you are absolutely right, Rob, but I don't get the money.
So does somebody who contacts you, does a reading, then she contacts your business associate, do they get a receipt or do they get a charitable receipt that they can claim on their income tax?
I think Brooke gives that to her, but I have not checked on that. But to be honest with you, Rob, it goes to OMSI, which is the African charity of feeding women and children in encampments in Africa.
What about feeding the mother? What about feeding the women and children in the United States?
Well, I mean, I'm on the board of directors for this charity. So
Oh, so wait a minute. You're on the board of directors for the charity that people pay
people
for
can
your
donate-
services.
People can donate to there, or they can donate to any charity. They can donate to the medical charity that's Brooks, that's near and dear to Brooks' heart. It has to do with she's got some sort of pancreatic disorder, or animal charities, and then and most of the time I give the readings for free. If they really want to send money, then it goes straight to charity. It doesn't touch my hands whatsoever.
Do you get paid by the charity that you're part of?
Absolutely not.
Are these charities registered with the government?
I believe they are, yes.
But how can you channel money to organizations and charities that you don't even know if they're legitimate or not?
They are legitimate.
If they're not registered with the government, they're not.
I believe that they are registered with the government.
But you're not saying yes, you're not saying no, you say you believe.
Well, because I don't handle that aspect, Rob. You think I would, but I'm so busy with
Okay, you can see you're busy, but the fact of the matter is that you.
Okay, Rob, I'm not here to. I'm just telling you, I don't accept.
What a bunch of bullshit! Holy crap, Craig! What are we doing? What are we doing with this, Craig? No, I don't want her back on. No. Caught her too many times in uncertain things, like the thing with the spirit. She did not know that we were going to get her to do that. There was no time for a setup. Bang, number one. Number two, she's part of a charity that money is donated to. She doesn't take money personally, but she is part of an organization that this money that people exchange for her services go to. Man, talk about laundering money. Then if you're part of an organization or a charity and you don't know whether or not it's a legitimate charity, come on. It's people like that give psychics a bad name. I've never heard of her. I've never heard of these cases that she's touting. She sent us pictures that we couldn't even use. Booked for a year and a half, and yet she still works. What doesn't make sense here? I should say, what makes sense here? I can't make heads or tails out of anything in this case. All I know is that, Judge Judy has a saying, X-Zone Nation, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And there were so many holes in this entire conversation when it came to validation. There were more holes in her story and what she was trying to sell us than in this piece of Swiss cheese in Billy Meyer's fridge. It was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're going to take an early break, Exxon Nation. When we come back, we're going to be speaking to John Miller. Had the opportunity of having John on the show before, and I know that he's been watching. So, John, we'll see you in about 17 minutes. This is the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell, and we're coming to you from our broadcast center and studios in Crystal Beach. No, St. Catharines. We haven't been in Crystal Beach for what, 3 months? Actually, we're in a penthouse that overlooks the entire Niagara Peninsula. And we'll be back on the other side at about 17 minutes. Don't go away.